hope there's one left in here.
Ooh, Tim, that box is getting
Getting a workout.
It's getting a workout. It's going down. What's your take on what's happening with the stock market?
The stock market, it's getting what it deserves.
Do you think we'll have a recession? A Trump recession?
Like, oh, you know, sir, this could take 4 to 6 weeks. Man, this process is really broken.
What we've done at SD Bullion is we've taken everything under one roof. Transparent pricing, you know exactly what you're getting. All the metal comes into our facility under camera. It never leaves. If you want to sell back, if you want to take a distribution, these processes that would take you 3 to 6 weeks to do at another program, we'll ship that out in 1 to 3 days after you decide you want to do that.
I just want you to have the best birthday ever.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, Rosemary.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
She said that was the only reason she wanted to call you.
When I left the house this morning, I told my wife, I said, I wonder what the spot price of golden eggs is. And that's why I brought these for you. My wife calls me a big tease.
Well, I love eggs, and
One's cracked, so.
that'll be for you.
Hey, what's up with all the cakes here, Tim? Look at this.
I don't know. Somebody just left all these cakes.
Birthday cakes.
Somebody had a birthday.
Yeah.
Eggland's best, huh?
Tim turned 59 today.
He turned 59. Is
Yeah.
that right, Tim?
It's true.
79.
79.
Very impressive.
Well, you got me by 9 years, so.
Yeah, is that really impressive? 79.
Well, I will be if I make it.
With a coin shop like this and what you do, Tim, is very impressive.
I had a woman who came in to buy some things a couple of weeks ago, and she said, "Oh, I've got you beat." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, I'm 95." And you've got to be kidding me. I said,
She walked in,
I got it.
made a purchase or
She
something?
came in with her daughter, and I said, "Holy cow!" There is hope.
Well, sir, when I saw that lady come up to the counter that fast, I thought maybe it was one of your girlfriends or something. I don't know what's going on. So do you have any of that spot gold left I saw on TV last week?
Let's see if I can. I think there may be one. I have to send 2 out, and I know there's one that I promised to this guy. I hope there's one left in here.
Ooh, Tim, that box is getting
Getting a workout.
It's getting a workout. It's going down.
Yeah, the
Grandpa,
yes.
when are we gonna start to eat the cake? When we're at Auntie's
Oh, I
house.
don't know.
You get your grandchildren here. Some of them, right?
That one.
Some of them, yes.
Yes. They brought the cake, didn't they, Tim?
And we bought them. And we
These two are cakes too, huh?
Yeah, this is my breakfast.
So I can get them for spot then?
Well,
Or
these
are they
two
more?
I'm gonna have to send out. So that's one I hadn't noticed yet, but you know we do sell them for a little more than spot.
Okay.
Oh, these ones are with
Where did you come up from to visit Tim?
Hudson Valley.
You came from New York to see
Yeah.
Tim. First time here?
Yeah, we watch him on YouTube and
I'll buy these.
we like his stories sometimes and we like his politics. So.
That's great. When did you start stacking gold and silver?
About 3 years ago. I was a coin collector, but I started stacking about 3 or 4 years ago.
That's great.
Is this trash?
Had a lot of time to do it during the pandemic. See? They closed the school down. She teaches school and I drive school bus.
So with the pandemic and the shutdowns, it was a good time to focus on that. Focus on silver and
Yeah, I
gold.
pulled out my old collection. I was looking at it and stuff, and we added to it till the money was gone. Now I'm back. Okay, I think I could do three of them plus that. Okay. 2 receipts, right? Because I can't go over 10, right?
Trash bags.
Okay.
That's not right
Because
here.
it's cash. So.
You're paying in cash.
So she'll buy 2 and I'll buy 2.
And don't forget the eggs, right? So that should count for something, right?
Well, they are golden.
Vegetarian fed heads are good. It doesn't say anything about cholesterol here. It says 25% less saturated fat. when I go to the market, all I do is read labels. So, and my last test was pretty good. So,
This could be my trash bag.
Tim, markets have been really swooning as of late, except for the metals markets. They seem to be holding tight. What's your take on what's happening with the stock market?
the stock market, it's getting what it deserves, and I think it's going to shake out. And I think cryptos are coming down. The stock market is probably going to come back to reasonable value. We have a whole new season of earnings reports coming up, and I suspect we're going to see pretty not disappointing earnings, but leveled off. And I don't think the earnings for the petroleum industry is going to be that great. The things that are important. I think the tech sector is in a little bit of confusion. And we throw all this money into AI, and it seems to be coming back out. So the metals are my concern, though.
Yeah, you care about the metals.
I do.
Do you think we'll have a recession? A Trump recession?
Honestly, reading what you sent me, it was a very interesting point of view, and I have a tendency to agree with that.
Really?
I think we are on the verge of a Trump recession, but that's actually good news, and not a danger at all, because if they're able to get the $1 trillion back from all this ridiculous spending, that should help a lot. What is going to confuse the issue is the jobs reports, because the latest report wasn't great,
Yep.
and but they couldn't count all these people who are being replaced in Washington.
The ones that are
Because-
being doged?
Well, yeah, because there's still the 75,000 employees have decided to leave.
Right.
They're still there, so they can't until they leave. They're still being paid.
They're
so
being paid till August, right?
to August.
Yeah.
We may have a really bad jobs report in August,
Right.
but
right.
keep in mind the opposite is just as concerning, because the previous administration used to make their jobs numbers by flooding the federal government with so-called employees, not necessarily ones that were working in an office.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They probably were just working from home or some vacation spot and being paid.
So the metals actually have maintained their value quite a bit. It's not all-time record highs, but
Yes,
it's close.
They have maintained the paper value. You're right.
Paper value,
Paper
correct.
value,
Yep.
that-
But if we have a recession, history tells us that you'll see traders and people selling out of the precious metals. It's very liquid. And in order to pay margin call or whatnot.
What's important is they'd be hesitant to buy more paper gold. And that's what I'm waiting for. Last night it went down $25, something like that. And it got to New York and it went back up.
It's interesting. Last year, I remember it being the opposite. It would be up overseas and it would hit New York and drop.
Yeah, but that ended with around September, when they were pushing gold up on the possibility that Kamala might get elected. And as you know, the day after the election, gold dropped $50, but then they pumped it back up. Gold is not a real number.
But if we have a Trump recession, this stuff, the silver, is likely to go way down, being an industrial metal.
You're right. Silver is very liquid. So if it's, people are trying to put their money back into eggs,
Golden eggs. Golden eggs.
Golden eggs, yes, golden eggs.
the necessities of life. Let me put it that way. As people start spending the money on necessities of life, they're not going to be going out and buying gold or silver.
So are you aligned with this stacking?
Oh yeah. Never know what's going to happen.
You're going with what today? Gold only or a little bit of silver?
Just gold today. We have a lot of silver
All right,
at
very
home
good. You take care.
For you. Yep.
to balance it out a little better.
Excellent.
Plus, the space-wise, is getting to be a problem. You can ask her about that.
Yeah.
So a total of 4, right?
Right.
Okay. Any preference? You see,
Ooh.
all be decent.
Seriously, that box is getting way down there, Tim. You're selling more and more gold, right?
Well, they're all maple. Aren't
Well,
they?
yeah, it's just that we're not getting it in. It's all going out the door.
Okay, so people aren't selling as much gold back to you since I last was here,
We still buy a little every day.
but not as much?
It's that people are resigning themselves to the fact that the prices are higher than they should be. But
Not
when's the
coming
best time to
down.
buy gold?
Yeah.
When you have the money.
That's why I'm here. No, it doesn't really matter. This is the other one, right?
That's the other one.
So just 3 different dates. They're all the same.
That is in extraordinary condition for being 1988.
It does. It looks really nice.
Young queen.
Geez, all these are they're in good shape.
Those are different dates, and we'll take these 3 right here. And this one.
Okay, let me get the.
Well, I'm
People
glad
are here.
there was gold left for you coming all the way up here from New York.
Well, it is a challenge coming up through the East Coast these days, I'll tell you. Through Connecticut.
Did you sense the freedom when you crossed into New Hampshire?
Very much. Especially when I pulled into Tim's ample parking lot.
He was surprised at the parking lot. I basically,
Well,
and I interpreted that it was bigger than he expected.
Yeah, it definitely leaves something to be desired, Tim.
but thanks to the closed establishment next door, there is plenty of parking.
There is a closed establishment next door.
I've been reading some of the ratings from Google, and they were reading off. One said, "If you don't mind it, there's no place to park, and a line out the door."
Yeah, you're bringing them in from all around the
You want us
country,
to put the
Tim.
top stuff on for you, or you just don't worry about that?
No, it's not necessary.
Okay.
Because you're not going over 10,000.
We do have a lot of people in line. You can see their feet here. So I'm going to wrap this video up, Tim. You're going to join me in studio tonight after the fun at the family event for your birthday?
Perhaps I'm going to have to keep it quiet.
Okay, yeah. Don't get in trouble. Only come over if they allow it, all right? All right.
I'll let you know because that'll be nearby.
Okay. And thank you, too, very much for coming in. Grab a sticker while you're at it. They're
It's right
free.
here.